I'm so fat right now.
I'm kind of fat too right now. Alright, here's something. Alright, here's something for you to think about or ponder. Since we live in a world like we do with all the technology and advances in science, what is real?
What do you mean, what is real?
Another way to put it is maybe, what is reality?
Everything that's not games and all that on our phones and all that stuff.
Everything that's what?
Not like movies or games or any of that.
So
that's not reality.
But are they real? Are they real games?
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm really shooting for is what is real?
This car.
And why is it real to you?
Because I can touch it.
So you think that
I can touch it? I can touch it, smell it, look at it, and I can touch it, smell. Oh, I can hear myself. Touch, smell, see, hear. If I wanted to, I could taste it. So it's real.
So then, are quarks real? Using that same analogy.
Yeah.
How is
That they make up the things that make up atoms.
But you can't see it. You can't taste it. You can't touch it.
I am seeing it. They're just super tiny.
So you're not really seeing it. You're seeing
what they make up. They're seeing what they make up, but I'm not seeing them. I'm seeing what they make.
All right. Now I've been involved with a lot of people who have alcohol problems or drug problems, and they see things. They see snakes around, they see spiders, they see ferocious things around them, and they're saying, I can see it. They actually show fear, like if they see snakes and they're scared. If I had a couple times I've had prisoners in the back seat and they're telling me the spiders were all over them. Was that real? Was it real to them?
Yeah, but it wasn't real. It wasn't actually real.
So, are you real?
Dinner.
One of the things that philosophers and scientists are having troubles with is trying to decide what is real. As soon as you go to define it, it gets slippery, it gets elusive. Like you said originally, you said if I can see, taste it. For the longest while, they were talking as if black holes was real, but they had never seen them. So were they real, even though they hadn't seen them, or only when they saw them did they become real?
Sorry, what was real?
Black holes.
Black holes.
All my life,
yeah,
I heard there were black holes. They may be out there, but nobody had ever seen them or had any evidence of it. Only recently. So until they had evidence, there's black holes. But were they really real?
Yeah, they were just always there, but we didn't know they were.
So then I'll ask you again, are you real? How can you prove it? Are your thoughts real? I can't see them, taste them, touch them. Here's another question are your dreams real? Or is this the dream and you're in bed right now?
The frick? Huh. That's like Matrix.
Yeah, the movie, The Matrix, was designed to make you think.
Yeah, I've only seen the first two. I haven't watched the third one. There's no reason I haven't watched it.
I only liked the first one more than anything. The second one was okay. Third one, it was alright. But the first one was really, especially when it came out, it was new to everybody when I saw it too. It was mind-blowing.
It's really a whole story. Like, all three of them fit together. Like, as one story.
So we say time is real because mathematically it's real. But yet time can slow down. I don't know if you've ever been waiting for something, or when you're taking a test, it's like, gosh, this is forever. And then other times, it's real fast. So time is in our heads, and then is it real? You can't see time, you can't taste time.
Weird, bro.
Yeah. Well, you're living in the world, and I just question whether it's real or not. It's easy to quickly say yes, but then when you read things from scientists, philosophers, and religious people, it's like, Like, for instance, a lot of people say they've seen ghosts, and ghosts are real. And then there's a huge percentage of people say, nah, ghosts are not real. Were they real?
You've had a ghost experience, and I've actually seen a ghost.
So it was real for you, but nobody else but you had seen that ghost. It was real for me. Nobody. Well,
I mean, I don't even know if the ghost I saw was real. It might have just been a phantasm, or maybe it was a phantasm is like a figment of your imagination, and you think it's there, but it's really not.
Yeah, I guess that would be a good way of putting it. Is this real, or is this a fantasy? That's a song that came to mind.
That was Bohemian Rhapsody.
There you go.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy?
Is it all real, or is it all an illusion? Are we somebody's dream? Or are you sleeping now, and this is your dream?
My God, this needs to stop happening. Why?
Well,
there's one way I know to wake up from a dream when you know you're in a dream and you want to wake up. Yeah. When you know you're in a dream and you want to wake up, you go like this. Please.
How was it? Squeeze your eyes.
Squeeze your eyes tight, because that's when I used to have lucid dreams, I would just squeeze my eyes tight, and when I opened my eyes, I saw my ceiling.
And it was like, oh, that was a dream.
Yeah, well, I knew it was a dream. That's why I closed my eyes real tight. And sometimes when you're in a lucid dream that you want to stay in,
because you're enjoying it.
Yeah, sometimes you'll blink weirdly and then you'll come out of it. Or that's just with me.
That's your exit. May not be everybody else's exit. I very seldom dream, so I don't know if at all. It's been a long time. Now, your grandmother, she tells me her dreams all the time. And then she has to analyze them, tell me what they probably mean. But sometimes I can understand it, like, something that happened, let's say, like when we were over your house the other day, Sunday, somebody might have said something, and then that night she has a dream and she'll be telling me, and I'll say, well, you know, Jake said something about, say, dogs and bones, and she'll go, oh yeah, and she can link it to the day before. illusion. So a lot of people do hallucinogenic drugs to see a lot more with their mind's eye, as they say, to see what else there could be.
I'm getting car sick.
Are you really?
Yeah, and you like jerking me around doesn't help much.
Jerking you around, huh?
Yeah, with the car, like stopping and going, stopping and going.
So I have to treat you more gently. I know that feeling, so I don't know what to tell you.
Plus, I just got fat earlier, so.
P-H-A-T?
Yeah. Is that a different word?
They say it is fat, but yeah, I don't know. You can say you're fat, but you don't look it. How's that sound? You don't look super thin anymore either, but you don't look fat.
Yeah.
So before you throw up, let me make sure I get you at home first.
Yeah. And then I'll throw up all over Sunny, because I hate her. Hate that dog.
You might want to edit that out.
Oh, it's fine.
She might hear it.
I'll show you why I hate Sunny.
That's right, she does not like you that much.
Yeah.
Do you get as much car sick when you're in the back seat as you are? Or does it make a little difference being up front?
It makes a difference when I'm fat.
Yeah, I always have to tell them if I eat or if I go anywhere, I gotta get in the front seat. I can't do it in the back. I will get sick in the back, especially if I'm fat.
Yeah.
Cute
Dog.
yeah.
Guess you just peed on that fire hydrant there.
Yeah, all dogs like those fire hydrants. My girls read their pee mail when they go there.
Because it's just bright and yellow.
How many times have you been up and down this street?
I don't know. I don't like the curbs that like are like that instead of like that. Like at like they're
Like
curved. Yeah, it's kind of, because it's easier for your car to get up on the grass.
That's true.
But
here you hit the curb, you stop pretty much, unless you're going extremely fast.
But it would mess up your the 90-degree curbs. They would mess up your tires if you manage to get on top of them.
I've seen them drive the concrete back, but then their tires and their tie rods, everything is destroyed under the car. It does a number when they hit the curbs like that. And then when they hit the other ones, they just wobble and roll over or whatever.
Yeah, so I guess those curved curbs are
softer.
Or more safe.
Are you real? Oh my God! You're not real! Are you real or not? I can't see you.
Dinny! Okay, what was that thing you texted me?
Well, that was the story. Okay, let me think here. We were just talking about what separates human beings from the animal world, and we came up with consciousness. Well, that's true, and then we also were talking about how generally people are bent towards doing wrong things. It takes laws to make them not do wrong things. It takes parents to correct people from doing wrong things. So let's go back. And I said, well, and another thing you said is that a lot of times children aren't raised right because their parents didn't do it right. And I said, well, their parents also didn't teach those parents right. If we take that back a ways, we can go back to, and here's the story that I was going to tell you. We can both agree, I believe, that we can look out and say that the human race took a wrong turn somewhere. There was a time, by science, it says that there was a moment where consciousness entered into the human beings, our forefathers. And if we go back to the first one, and let's say the first human male and female, in the beginning, we can more or less say they were probably in tune with nature. Scriptures, the old writings from way back, said that they just walked and ate and enjoyed life. They weren't into anything but being in tune with nature and with their maker. So, what the story goes along that says is this: they were tempted to be like their creator. So they decided, instead of staying focused on the truth and on what is actual out here, like the animals are, just living, breathing, and enjoying life, they wanted to be able to be like their creator, and they wanted to know what was right and what was wrong, what is good and what is bad. And they did. They switched consciousness. They went from being in tune with truth to going over to a new direction. I'll decide what is right and what is wrong and what is good and what is bad. Now, I don't know if you ever heard of a plumb line. Have you ever heard of a plumb line? A plumb line is something like a person who starts to do a building. They have to find, if you start your very first brick wrong, or your very first cut wrong, and you're going, eventually the house isn't going to be correct. It'll be off a little bit on one end or off on another end, and they call that a plumb line. And with the master plumb line person, I'm just going to go over here because it's easier to talk. The master plumb line, the master would say to, like if I was starting my first bricks, and you would use a plumb line, and you would do there, and then you would flick the string, and it would put a line on the dirt or on the ground that you're beginning. And then the question is it true? That's what they say. Because I've done some building, and the guy would say, is it running true? Which means, is it right? And if you check and you say yes, and from that moment on, everything he builds will be right. Well, somewhere along the line, the human brain got off the plumb line. It missed truth, and it's always seeking to fix things. Now, the story I was going to come up with is, I work at the library, and I work with two librarians that are females, and we were sitting around, and both of them are college degrees. They both have their master's degree. And we were talking about police officers, because they knew I was a retired police officer. And the one woman said, well, we don't need police unless you hire people who have a master's degree. And I said, who would you get to want to be a police officer? Oh, she said, because they won't shoot and kill people. I said, so you're saying to me that only somebody who went to college all those extra years so they could ride around in a police car and handle mentally ill people, crazy people, arguments, fights, people stealing from each other, who would want to get a degree just to do that? And then second of all, just because, let's say I have a master's degree, right, as a police officer, and somebody's coming at me with a knife, what's he going to say? Oh, I won't stab you, officer, because you have a college degree. So their philosophy is, there's two different worldviews, which we've talked about before in the past. Their philosophy is, we have to use our own minds to get us out of this hole. And we're aiming for utopia, a perfect world. Yeah. We want everybody to be perfect. And anybody that's not perfect, or the past, anything in the past holds us back from being that way, they say. So what they're doing is, they don't want to hear about history. They don't want to hear about police officers from the past. They don't want to hear about what you taught in school about the past. They're saying it's all about going forward from here, which makes sense, except for their mind got off truth, and they're looking for truth, but how can a mind that got away from truth correct itself? So we continue to have a mess. Just take this philosophy called communism or socialism. Since 1919, the Russians, when they forced communism into the huge country called Russia, they killed 30 to 40 million people to bring it about. China, in 1949, the year I was born, Chairman Mao forced communism into China and killed 60, that's the minimum, 60 to 100 million people. They said, you're in the past, you're not right, kill you, you're holding us back. All those people died. Vietnam, right now it's going on in Venezuela and South America. The government kills people, and the whole goal is get rid of anybody that gets in the way. And the philosophy of communism and those people who are off track is the ends justify the means. Have you ever heard that statement before?
Yeah, I don't. I
it?
have no idea what it means though.
All right, here's what it means. The end is we're shooting for utopia. We'll do whatever it takes. If we have to kill 1 billion people that are not utopia-minded people, if we have to kill 1 billion people, it's okay because we now have a utopia. It's perfect now. So the ends is utopia. Will justify or say what we did to get there is okay. It was okay to kill all, like in China, it was okay to kill 60 million people because we have communism in China. Now their thought is we need it in the world. So we'll just, if it means we have to get rid of 1 billion or 2 billion people to create a utopia, that's what we do. So you had this two mindsets. The one mindset uses its mind, and what they've been doing since I was in high school, since the 60s, is they say the communists in the past killed over 100 million people, and then we still don't have communism or utopia because people got mad that they killed so many people. In other countries, they said, that's wrong. You can't kill all these women and children. So let's do something different. So in the 60s, they started, let's get kids at an early age and indoctrinate them over their school years into thinking that socialism, which is really communism, but they call it socialism, is the right way to go. And that capitalism or any other isms is the wrong way to go. So over the school years, since Grandmom and me have gotten out of school, they slowly, and now we've had teachers who grew up in those schools and now are teaching the same thing, that it's okay. Oh, show you how far they want to go. My librarian said, get rid of, we only need police officers who need a college degree. Here lately, in this last month or so, the socialist-minded people are saying, we don't want police, we don't want jails. Get rid of the police and jails. So, again, they're not, I don't know how you can think this way, but again, the ends justify the means. If the people get out of jail and they die and they can't get jobs, who cares? We got to get up there. And then what they hope is the criminals will say, thanks for letting us out of jail, we'll support this new movement. We'll be behind you, is what they're saying. So, you've been mistreated by the capitalists. Come over here, prisoners, we'll let you out of jail if you help us go. You see where that's heading. Eventually, there's going to be one person who sits on top of the world and says, I'm in control. I now have a utopia. That's their goal. Now, it'll take their mind saying, we'll bend their minds, or we'll punish people if they don't. The other method, which is a very small group of people in the world, says, you can change the world one person at a time. You can begin to change, but you use love instead, compassion instead. You show them that this way ultimately is a path to destruction, and this is a pathway to life. And you enjoy life. You're back in tune with the world, with nature, and you can love people out of it instead of killing people out of it. So I wanted to understand it because you're growing up. You're now becoming. You're an adolescent. You're going to become a man. You're going to become. You're 20. You're going to be able to vote in 3 years. 18, right? You voted 18. So in 3 years you can vote. You got to start thinking and looking. Which way do you want your society to go? Or do as I did, and I say, capitalism and its extreme isn't the answer. Socialism and communism isn't the answer. The answer is love. Just be there for people. Come alongside. When you see them hurting, you help. And that's the way. That's called what Jesus called it was the way. There's the way with a small w.
The way.
Yeah, and then there's the way, which is in the Bible. It's even capitalized. It's more like there is a an individual kind of way, and that's the way of the cross, or the way of Christ. Christ is life. And the Bible says everything that exists now came through Christ. And here's one more. I think I told you this maybe last year. This is the neat part. This is where scientifically you can prove it, through prayer. You pray for something through Christ, you wait, and the response comes back down through us like a spiritual, you'll know that you know. Like, let's say, I pray for, I have a friend who's going through a marriage problem right now, right? Serious. So I pray for a healing in their marriage. I put it out there when they're married. I pray that you would heal their marriage. And then you just let it out there, and then all of a sudden you get a feeling it'll be done. And then this happened, okay? So then believe it or not, like about 2 weeks later, my friend texts me saying, "You're not going to believe this. We're reconciling, we're coming together. We're starting to work, we're working things out."
I don't believe you praying had anything to do with it.
Okay, because you don't understand what prayer is. So
I mean, you saying...
I'm telling you more than that. More than that. I'm just giving you one example. Prayer works.
Well, you saying, "I hope this happens," and then it does happen.
I didn't say I hope it happened. I asked that it would happen. Not hope.
I think that's just you want something good to happen, even though you already know inside that it will happen.
Okay, so you're talking at this. Now, here's the catch. I want you to understand this, because one day this will make sense to you. People in this world, which is 98% of the world, is heading that way, okay? And then here's me, or the smaller group over here. These people are in the world. They can see what's going on, but they're not of that world. And they can have an influence on this world. These people here don't understand this world, and they have no influence over it, because they're locked on this path of, I can fix it, I can fix it, we can change the world, we can make things better, we can heal through doctors, we can do this and that. It's all that path. So these people have no influence here, but this can influence the world. So it's an entirely different mindset. And if you're in this world, it doesn't make sense, because this world is logical. They call it, I guess you would call that logical. They say you need, like scientific, you need, if you can see it, smell it, taste it, touch it, then it's real. But they miss out on the spirit part of life, the energy, the energy between there and God. So you can extend your energy through God, take care of that situation, or get the information that comes. I'm sorry, like, nope, this person isn't going to live, and then they don't live. But you'll know that you know. It's like, oh gosh, okay, and then a day or two later, you get the message. Say bye.
I feel like praying has nothing to do with anything. It's just that you know inside what will happen. You know, deep down inside, you know what will happen, but you're still praying for a good outcome anyway.
So why would you do that then, if you know what's going to happen?
Because it's subconscious. But you're just praying for it to happen anyway. And that's why you pray.
So let's say doctors are saying, all right, family, come to the hospital. Your mother's down to their last hours. And then I get the message, no, that person's going to live. And then you say to them, no, your mother's going to live. Now, they're going to say, well, the doctor said we only have an hour. Then all of a sudden, she gets healed, and she says, okay, or she starts getting better, just changing. She's in tune with the world. Or a person comes and prays with them, and they change. Now, how do you do that? How do you change something?
It was never changed. It was going to happen.
So, in other words, you're just lucky sometimes.
Maybe like the spiritual flow of everything, when somebody like prays like that and then it actually happens, subconsciously you're getting that message that what will actually happen, and then if it's a good thing, then you'll consciously pray, but it was going to happen already, so it's kind of like a psychic flow of everything. Praying has nothing to do with it, it's just that...
So at this point, you say there is no mastermind out there that listens to you and loves you,
Well,
that created all this.
If there is a mastermind out there, then why is there so much evil in the world?
Why is there suffering, right?
Yeah. And if there is a mastermind in the world, then may he make this pen float. Exactly.
that was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. So the big deep question then is, why is there suffering? If there's a God, why would he allow suffering?
Yeah.
Well, why do people suffer anyway?
Because of people and disease, and I guess basically the four horsemen were five horsemen actually. Well, they're not actual beings; they're just ideas. So they're just like things of bad. Conquest, which is basically like pride. Conquest, war, famine, pestilence, and death.
And where is truth in that, and life?
I'm telling you, those are the things that make everyone suffer.
Okay, and I agree. There is all this suffering, and there's those five horsemen representing those things. What about the white horse?
The white horse is conquest.
Well, okay, you're reading. That's the pale horse, right?
No, the pale horse is death. The white horse is conquest. The red horse is war. The black horse is famine. The green horse is pestilence, and the pale or skeletal horse is death.
And they're all from the mindset of for those who are lost in the world.
Yeah.
When you recant the world, or you another word would be when you healthily, I don't want to say withdraw because I don't withdraw, detach from that way because you see the danger. Everybody's hurting each other, everybody's stabbing each other, everybody's doing these things mentally, emotionally, causing problems, and you say, enough, I'm stopping, I'm out of that. And you step out of it. Now, you're not any of those five horsemen doesn't have any effect.
Yeah.
On you.
Yeah, because you're out of that mindset.
Out of that mindset, if you want to look at it that way, yeah. So what does it take to get out of that mindset?
I don't know. Just love, I guess.
Well, yeah, love is what comes as a result of seeing the unloving things happening, and you say, okay, this is really, everything I'm doing is somewhere along the line causing conflict and pain and suffering. I want to come over here, and as you step out, then love develops. But what would cause a person going down that path to say, not shift in that path, like in a stream going down the middle, so you're going to the edges of the stream, floating near the shore, just stepping out of the stream of humanity. What would cause a brain to shift like that? A mind. And it's as if the brain cells have completely changed. Because at one time my mind was in that path, which ultimately is a path of destruction.
I don't think brain cells have anything to do with your thoughts. Your thoughts are from you, not your brain.
So if if there were no brain cells, we'd still have thought.
Yeah. I mean, you would have thought as like, I mean, if you didn't have any brain cells, your body wouldn't work, so you'd be dead, so your soul would have thoughts.
All right, metaphorically, metamorphosis. A complete transformation. We're seeing the world in
metaphorical metamorphosis.
Yeah, that's what I said. So I'm switching that way. A metamorphosis. The brain, my mind, was in the world, riding in a police car, thinking I'm helping people, thinking I'm saving people, doing all these things, causing troubles in my family's causing troubles in my life, and then, bang, step out.
Yeah.
The first thing you have to see is the truth. The world is suffering. And it's suffering because of, what did you say?
The 5 horsemen.
Or each person's causing it to other people. It's influencing
Yeah,
you.
it's
Yeah, they're influencing
5 horsemen caused by people. Yeah.
Right. So then you say, okay, I see those 5 things that's causing problem. Famine causes people to suffer with hunger.
Mm-hmm.
War causes people
To fight against each other.
Right. So, and it seems like inevitably, somewhere along the line, everybody's in one of those 5 places.
Yeah.
No peace. You talk about peace, but there really is no actual peace of mind there.
And then the opposites of those would be, besides conquest, I guess they would be going with the flow, I don't know. And then war would be, the opposite of that would be love. And then the opposite of pestilence would be health. And then the opposite of famine would be
You could eat,
hunger.
You can eat and feel good.
Or comfort. And then the opposite of death would be life. Obviously.
Yes. So, if you really look and read and think, you're going to see most people are on that huge population. And they're all saying, one day a scientist or a political world leader will get it right and say, here's how we have our utopia. And in the meantime, whatever we have to do, we live in this dog-eat-dog world. I'll step on you to get up. If it means me living for a lot better time in utopia and not you, I'll step on you to get there. That's what people do. In jobs, they do that. I'll lie to get you out of the job so I can get in that job. I'll cheat the company so I can have more money. That's what almost everybody's living in. The other way is when you realize there really is a truth. There is a plumb line. And that truth is solid ground. And you say, I'm done with this wavy stream. I'm getting on solid ground. So that boils down to, and something to think about for the next time we meet, that what is a good person? Or how would you define a good person? What is a good person?
And that's our topic for next time.
Sounds good.